Welcome to the student math community. Now this video is about subtracting integers, but if you are not confident and comfortable with adding two integers, whether they have the same sign or different signs, I want to invite you to go up a couple videos and watch those because subtraction is really all about addition. And so in order to subtract our integers, what we want to do is we want to put our subtraction in terms of something we already know how to do. And since we already know how to add, hopefully, here's what we're going to do for subtraction. So for subtracting, you are going to do the following. You are going to add the opposite. Okay? Now remember, in arithmetic, opposite means opposite sign, okay? So opposite means change the sign, in case you did not know that. So what we're going to do is we are going to add the opposite sign. So what I'm going to do first on the 4 subtraction problems I have, you can see these are all subtraction. There's a subtraction, there's a subtraction, there's the subtraction, there's the subtraction. Those are all subtractions. What I'm going to do first is I am going to change them all to adding the opposite problems. So here goes. I'm changing my pen color to red so you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing I do is I change the subtraction to addition. Okay, I'm going to put a plus sign there. And then I make this the opposite. So it's going to be a plus 8. The next problem, negative 5 minus 18, I'm going to make it an addition. And then I'm going to make 18 negative 18. The next one, I have negative 12 minus negative 13. So I'm going to make the subtraction an addition, and then I'm going to make the negative 13 into a positive 13. And last but not least, I have 9 minus 20. I make the subtraction into addition, and then I make the 20 into a negative 20. And now I am ready to go about the business of adding the numbers. So this first problem, which was 6 minus negative 8, has become 6 plus positive 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. That's one of our basic arithmetic facts. The next one, which started off as negative 5 minus 18, has become negative 5 plus a negative 18. So notice these both numbers, negative 5 and negative 18, they're same sign. And if you watched the video about adding numbers with same sign, you add the values. So the values are 23 when I add them, and you keep the sign, so negative. This next problem, which started off as negative 12 minus negative 13, became negative 12 plus 13. So now I'm adding two numbers with different signs. I've got a negative and I've got a positive right here. And so what happens when I add numbers with different signs is you take the difference. The difference between 13 and 12 is 1. And the positive wins. The 13 is the larger value. Last but not least, I have a positive 9, and then I have a plus a negative 20. And so again, I'm adding two numbers with different signs. So the difference between 20 and 9 is 11. And since the 20 is the larger value, it becomes negative 11. This takes some practice to get comfortable with, so if at first you are not super comfortable adding the opposite, well, I'm going to have plenty and plenty of problems for you to get better at this. Remember, problems with algebra usually have a foundation in problems with arithmetic. If you want to get good at algebra, you need to be good at adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing positive and negative numbers. I'm going to move the screen forward. Here's 4 problems for you to take a stab at. I would like you to pause the video. I'm going to wait, and when you come back, we'll do these together. All right, here we go. So we're going to go one problem at a time. I have negative 5 minus negative 14. And so I'm going to add the opposite. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to addition, and then I'm going to change the negative 14 to a positive 14. And now what I have is I am adding two numbers with different signs. So the difference between 14 and 5 is 9, and the positive number wins because it has the larger value. The next problem is 10 minus 23. So here's my subtraction. I'm going to change that subtraction sign to addition, and then I'm going to make the 23 a negative 23. Again, we have two numbers with different signs. The difference between 23 and 10 is 13. In this case, the 23 has the bigger value, and it is negative, so the negative number wins. Next, we have 15 minus negative 6. So I'm going to change the minus sign into a plus sign, the negative 6 into a positive 6, and those are two positive numbers. We get 21. And last but not least, I have negative 5 minus 18. So I change the minus sign to a plus sign, the 18 to a negative 18, and I have negative 5 plus negative 18. Those numbers have the same sign, so I add the values. 5 and 18 is 23, and then the negatives carry over, and it becomes negative 23. Practice, practice, practice. I cannot tell you how important that is. If I can be of help to you at all as you are doing this, please don't hesitate to let me know by posting a discussion in the student math community.